Welcome all. This is my first run of what's called a compressed air motor. It's a 4.5 horse Honda motor which used to have a generator on it. The generator died and the motor was still in pretty good condition, but I decided I had no need for it, so I thought I'd turn it into an air motor to see whether I can actually make it work, going from what some of the other YouTube guys are doing. Just using the solenoids out of a washing machine. Got two reed switches down here on the floor. No, there they are, hanging right there. They're just off a door inside house alarm system. Just trying it for the moment, just to see whether it works. And every time it goes past the magnet on the flywheel, it's that bit right in the centre there, it triggers it, which of course releases the air on the compression cycle. Now I've modified the cam in the motor to the point that the exhaust opens as it does normally, but I've changed the inlet cam so that it opens on the opposite to the exhaust, obviously. So theoretically it has two exhausts. Air goes in the spark plug and out through the inlet and out through the exhaust on the opposite strokes. So it's effectively a two-stroke power motor instead of four-stroke. I'm going to give it a try run. I'll have to try and hold the camera at the same time. See whether she'll go. I've done quite a number of successful runs, so here goes. Try that again. Got to get this just the right place. No, not quite. I'm having to run it on around about 70 psi. It's a little higher than I'd like, but since I'd modified the motor, there's some things in it that are a bit tight now and needs wearing in. Here the compressor outside, it's only a small compressor so it can't keep up at all. Obviously it's starting on around about 70 psi. But as the compressor it runs out of air, it seems to cope at around about 30 to 40 psi. That's why I can't get a huge amount of speed out of it at the moment. If I had a bigger one I could get a lot faster. That you see coming out the inlet is obviously air. I can just keep it going. The compressor just keeps up enough to keep it going, but yeah. I think the best thing with this is, as people have suggested, to make a cam on the flywheel and have it operate a proper air valve. This is something I need to look into next, because I don't think the solenoid will last that long and the reed switches probably won't either. But I just thought I'd try this to see whether the motor would actually work. So at the moment it's only really running in, because there's a few bits in the motor that are still tight. My only concern is lubrication of the cylinder. It is a four-stroke, so it does have oil in the sump, but it doesn't have a pump as such to the valve has just got stuck on, so I've just had to turn it off. But that's it. As I said, my only concern was the lubrication of the main cylinder, because all these motors do basically is flick oil around on the inside, so hopefully it gets enough and will work properly when I really get it set up properly. In time I'd like to actually set it up with steam, set up a boiler and provide it with steam. I would imagine somewhere around about 100 psi would get me probably the speed I need, and hook a generator on the opposite end onto the shaft. The generator would be a Fisher and Paykel generator, probably converted to, I would imagine, probably 12 volts or 24, then turn it back into 230 volts with an inverter. But that's it, that's the air motor.